Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be with all of you this morning at this national conference celebrating preservation and the practice of classical architecture and design. And this weekend, we welcome so many prolific architects, interior designers, urbanists, and educators who will offer their insights into a variety of compelling topics encompassing the full range of the building arts: preservation, restoration, art, and artisanship, classical architecture, and urbanism. These are just some of the elements and endeavors that will illuminate and be explored in the lectures and the panel discussions that take place. We'll also delve into the creation of new townships and municipalities and reimagine public spaces not only as attractions of beauty and reflection, but also areas that serve the practical needs of the communities they enjoy and depend on. And for those with a focus on the outlook and the future of stewardship of classical designs, we encourage you to experience the Student and Young Professionals exhibition that Russell mentioned at the Aiken-Rhett House during your stay. This comprehensive showcase displays works across a wide range of mediums, including paintings and photography and printmaking and sculpture and much more. It's an incredible thing to see the myriad of ways in which these traditional practices thrive in the care and the craft and the consciousness of very talented young individuals. And so I can assure you that the future of art and design remains literally in good hands. And for our venue this weekend, this hotel is in many ways an ideal setting in which to host this seminal event, because benefiting from its continuous restorations throughout the years, the building stands as a triumph of historic architecture with nearly 100 years of antiquity. The themes of this conference, craftsmanship, preservation, and sustainability, can be fully experienced here, and are steadfast principles of the Institute's advocacy and the creation of places that are dignified and beautiful and lasting. And of course, Charleston more broadly provides an even more expansive opportunity to witness these practices of restoration, of adaptive reuse, of community building, evident not only in their form, but also in their sensitivity to the context of their setting. In fact, the preservation of traditional art and design are so universally displayed in this city, one might need only to meander through its eloquent streets enough times with an observant eye or a contemplative mindset to become sufficiently educated in the classical style. I myself first encountered Charleston right after the devastating Hurricane Hugo in 1989, as I came here as the chairman of the National Council on Historic Preservation to lend a helping hand. And I have come here numerous times since then, and I enjoy very much my time here, always discovering something new. And against that backdrop, the theme of this conference, Enduring Places, says as much about the people that create and care for these buildings and the spaces as it does about the architectures and places themselves. For these individuals, whether it be preserving the past or forging the future, the personal internal drive has always been much more than a profession. One might even say it's a calling, one that ignites and it sustains a deep-set need to care for what's come for future generations, or to blaze new trails across an ever-evolving landscape of sustainable design, period decor, and preservation. My own predisposition towards the classical tradition began as a collective journey during the first term of Ronald Reagan's presidency, where, with the support of the president, I began a multi-decade-long journey committed to the conservation and the preservation of the White House itself and its surroundings. That effort included the restoration and the reintroduction of the old Executive Office building and the restoration of the Treasury building, two stalwarts, magnificent piles, the cornerstones of Pennsylvania Avenue, which continue to command architectural significance and influence. And I am also privileged to continue this work as the chairman of the board of the White House Historical Association and Trust. Even to this day, the experience summons up ambiances of a relationship of sorts, one which yields a connection to these storied edifices so indelibly entwined with the narrative of our nation, inspiring us to capture and convey the elements of our past to future generations. But in such an undertaking, we are reminded that the continuation of historic preservation and classical design is not, nor has it ever been, a foregone conclusion. Rather, it takes a shared efforts of architects, historians, educators, designers, and artisans. And in essence, ladies and gentlemen, that means all of you, to advance and the appreciation and the practice of traditional architecture and its companion arts. Importantly, our collective efforts are practical pursuits, especially when considering that classicism and design precedent provide us with enduring forms, lessons, and tools that are as adaptive as they are eloquent. And when we infuse the wisdom of our past with a sense of contemporary ingenuity, we are able to employ timeless tenets in ways that complement current-day contexts. And to this end, the Institute's role simply cannot be overstated. And when it comes to serving as a committed guardian of the standards, the underpinnings, and the lessons of the classical tradition. And also in safeguarding the path forward, such values and principles help to determine and unfold. And ultimately, it's the role of this institute to be rooted in a profound belief in the transformational power of beauty, of harmony, and these timeless principles. The Institute for Classical Architecture and Art challenges us to reconsider the very essence of our built environment and inspires us to create spaces that enrich our lives and stand as a testament to our own shared humanity. In our journey through time, we have seen the preservation of the past and the forging of the future. We have witnessed the profound impact of personal drive and commitment in shaping the world we live in. The women and the men who have dedicated their lives to this noble pursuit are to be congratulated and encouraged. And we are privileged to benefit from their work. And I would say, in conclusion, that one of those individuals is with us here today, and it's a privilege to introduce the first featured lecturer of this national conference, so very much happy to have Witold here with us. He's an architect and a professor, which I'm sure all of you know. He's also a prolific writer on the subjects of housing and architecture and technology, with a particular proclivity for connecting with the non-technical engaged enthusiasts. He is a recipient of numerous awards, which include the J. Anthony Lucas Book Prize, the Seaside Prize, and the Vincent Scully Prize. And he is an honorary fellow of the American Institute of Architects and an honorary member of the American Society of Landscape Architects. It is no stretch to say that he is a luminary when it comes to the reflection and the examination, the recognition, and the future of the building arts. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next speaker.